muted, so that your background noise does not interfere with the line. So you mute, but when you want to ask a question, you unmute. That's how we shall be working out with ease. Okay. So I'm going to be muting some of you. You should only unmute if you want to ask a question. Now, for some of you who have maybe forgotten where we are, I'm going to first review the lesson very fast, and then we shall go to what has brought us today. I'll use about 5 minutes just to review, and when I'm reviewing, I'm going to okay. So let me begin the review. Okay, we have been always doing coordination and control. And first of all, we look at coordination in plants. When you are looking at coordination in plants, we look at basically, okay, those were the first slides. Those are the things which we looked at in the first place. I'll review from here. Okay, so when we were looking at it, we looked at different tropisms, we looked at the tactic responses, and then those were different examples. We did some even quiz. For me, normally I organize like for every after subtopic, we do a small quiz. Those are questions to check on how you understood them. Now, we began with tropism, whereby tropism is about growth response in response to a given stimuli. It's a growth response, and there are kind of many. Photo, that is a growth response to do with light, then geo, gravity, thermal, touch, hydro, water, chemicals, thermal, heat. We looked at geotropism first in detail, where sometimes we can have positive and then negative, depending on where it is growing. If it is growing towards the stimulus, that is positive. Then that is negative. So we went from there. We looked at that thermotropism. For some of you have forgotten, I'm reviewing for some people who have just joined today, so that they don't over ask obvious questions. We also were able to do this whereby for this picture, you can see this shoot was growing away from gravity. We expect a plant to be growing straight, but it was growing away from gravity. That's why it had to turn and then grow upward. Now this is negative geotropism. Now this is a light that you are seeing here. This plant is growing towards light. Now this is positive phototropism. This is a shoot growing away from gravity, so we would expect it to grow straight, but it is growing, moving upward. Now this is negative geotropism. This was about also this is about and then we went on to auxins. Now we said that auxins were being produced in the tip of the shoot and the roots, and then when they are produced, they move downward. And these auxins, for some of you have forgotten, these are the plant hormones. Just like I can compare them to. You're not hearing. Some of you, in most cases, you are not hearing because you don't connect with your audio. When you are connecting your gadget, the phone asks you to either connect with audio, even if it's a computer, it asks you. So you connect with the audio so that you don't miss. Okay, so I can compare them to secretions, just like in the body. This one is saying the teacher is not talk. I don't know. You guys connect with your audio. Okay, let me first respond to these. Okay, people can hear me. Because some people can hear me and some can't hear me. That means you have a problem with your network. If that is happening to you, make sure that you are somewhere where there is some good network. So I think admin, if you are there, help me inform you can hear me. Okay, let us continue. So these oxygen
Teacher, can you hear me?
are normally produced in the
Mr. Bumba,
and then
we can't hear you.
Yes, can hear.
Hello?
You.
Yes, sir, we are hearing you enough.
Learners, can you hear the teacher?
Yes, sir, we are getting you.
Hello?
Yes, we are hearing.
Yes, we are
Are you
hearing.
hearing the teacher?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
I can't hear you as well.
Not quite actually.
yes.
Hello?
Yes,
We are hearing, cha.
we are hearing, sir.
Proceed.
Harriet, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Proceed.
So, Teacher Bumba,
Yes. Okay. So we can continue. I already told that I want to just use a few minutes to review for some of you who are not here. I told you that oxygens, you can compare them over to what? They are chemical substances. They are hormones produced at the root tips. Just like each one of you, you have, let's say, sweat glands in you. I don't know why you are muting me. So, okay, just like some of you have sweaty glands in your armpits, and occasionally they can use sweat to cool your body, or you have on the end of your tongue to produce saliva when you're going to eat. Okay, so likewise, when plants are going, if they need to grow, their tips produce oxygen hormones. Now these oxygens slow down. Now they increase the cells to begin growing faster. They make the cells to grow faster, and the plant keeps on elongating and elongating and elongating. So with the phototropism, I remember I told you that when light shines on one side of the tip, oxygens run away and go to the other dark side. Now, oxygens don't want light. So where they have gone, they increase the cells there to divide very, very fast. Okay. And then we went on to look at those, that was the explanation which we looked at. For some of you, if you still remember, that when light comes and shines on one part of the tip, the oxygens run away, go to the other dark side, and make that side to grow very fast, to grow faster than this. What makes the plant to bend? Okay. The people are saying that you can't hear me is you need to connect with your audio the moment you connect. If you don't connect with your audio, you will not hear me, because otherwise some people are hearing me and some are saying you are not hearing me. That's why you can't hear me, but people can hear me. Okay, so we went on to experiment to show the effect of unidirectional light. Uni meaning just those who are saying breaking, and here make sure your network is fine. So we went to look at the experiment in yeah, that was it. We also looked at that experiment. We also did that quiz.
Who is a mechanic?
And then
So you're a mechanic?
Yes.
For how long have you been doing this work?
I have belonged at Catway.
okay. Let me first mute these people. Disorganizing.
Excuse me. Noise while you're teaching.
Yes, please. Come again. Can you ask again? I've not had your question. If
Sir, please, your network.
you have a question, please type it. Someone saying which topic I'm on. Work is fine. So just make sure you pay attention. Always follow what we have been doing. We are doing coordination. Yeah. So we went on. I don't want. Okay, we went on to also look at that experiment. This experiment was treating geotropism in plant roots. And we saw that plants normally will have root downward. Plant like this, and it is horizontal and begins growing the root first. The root may grow like that, but with time, it actually grows downward. That, okay? That is what normally happens.
Teacher Boomba. Teacher Patrick. Teacher Patrick. Teacher Patrick.
Please.
Patrick, can you hear me?
Please, I'm saying that.
Teacher Patrick.
Yes, I can.
Patrick.
Yes, I can. Yeah.
Your voice is breaking, please.
Here you.
Wakazi problem.
You.
Your network has a problem.
Sir, your voice is breaking. We are not getting you,
Teacher, go where
please.
there is network.
Yeah. The network is breaking.
Yes, hopefully you can now hear me well. The teacher's network is unstable, and I think that's why he's off. The challenge is that he couldn't accept that he has poor network. Let him join and then we continue with the class. Isn't it? Yes. Hopefully you can hear me. Yes, if you can hear me, let's wait for the teacher to come back. Otherwise, it was not okay. Let's hold on a bit for the teacher to join. Let's hold a bit for the teacher to join.
No, bravo. Yes.
Yes, the teacher is connecting. Let's be patient. The teacher had a challenge, but he's connecting. Keep on. Let's exercise more patience. Our teacher will connect and we continue. Okay, hopefully, teacher, you can now unmute and speak to us.
Can you hear me well?
Yes, we can hear you, but you're a
Can
bit
everyone hear
breaking.
me well?
Yeah, you can share your screen and you continue and we see.
Am I still breaking?
Yes, you're
Am I
breaking
still
a bit.
breaking?
Yes, now
Okay.
at least now you can start, because if I allow all the learners to speak, the lesson will be interrupted. You can continue.
No, I mean, am I still breaking when I'm talking?
You are fine now. Proceed.
Okay.
Sir, we can't hear you.
Okay. So sorry for that. Sorry. Sorry for, I hope you can hear now.
Try to continue.
Okay. You tell me when you're not hearing. If the problem continues, I'm going to change the network which I'm using.
Okay.
If the problem continues.
Okay, sir.
So if the problem continues, you tell me I change. Okay. So I was still telling you. Okay, let me continue from the previous slide where I had ended. Now, this was an experiment. Let me pen. I'm just getting a pen, and I hope you guys don't get lost. We are doing coordination. Coordination is about being for plants itself, being able to respond the given stimuli in the environment. And now the stimuli that we are looking at is gravity in this case. Now gravity, you can't see it, you can't touch it, but you can experience it. Like when you throw anything down, it just falls down due to the influence of gravity. If you jump up, I'm assuming this is you, and you jump up, you can't stay up, rather you come down, and that gravity. Now, effect, pulling, making sure that the roots grow downward. The roots normally grow downward and not up. Have you ever asked yourself, why is it that when you plant something, I'm assuming this is the bean seed, like this, even if you plant this bean seed when it is sleeping like this, the root will normally go down and the shoot will have to grow upward. The shoot will grow upward in most cases. So why is that so? So for this experiment, it is trying to explain why the roots actually grow downward. Why is it that the roots will have to grow downward and not upward? And one of the things, okay, let us go through it slowly. The process says, place seed petri dish hole. Now, what you are seeing here, okay, 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 let me see. Someone has a question. Let me first ask this one to ask. Yes, Wade, you have a question?
Excuse me, teacher.
Yes.
I've not understood that part of geo what? This business you've been explaining.
Geotropism.
Yes.
Geotropism. I'm still continuing. I'm going to make sure you understand. Okay, thank you for that question. I was still telling you that this is an experiment to demonstrate. Demonstrating means showing. Demonstrate geotropism. Geotropism just means a growth response towards gravity. So geotropism in plant roots. So we are looking at plant roots. Why is it that they grow downward? Now this is the experiment. What we need is we need cotton wool. Now cotton wool is going to act like the soil. You need the seeds which will help to grow the roots. You need petri dishes where we are going to place the seeds. We need a clinostat. A clinostat, I talked about it last time. It can rotate the setup. Plasticine, this is artificial clay. It looks like clay. They can use it to mold different things, just like clay. But we use it in the lab. So the procedure means like steps that are taken when we are working on this experiment. You place seeds and cover them with moist cotton wool. Now, cotton wool, I'm telling you, it is acting as soil in this case. So, then the seeds for 3 days develop radicals. Radicals are the roots. Now, place one petri dish in plasticine perpendicular to the ground, making the radicals horizontal to the surface. You can see this case X1, and then I call this one B. Okay, you are going to place some seeds when they are flat, horizontal, like this. Okay, let me first get this question from Lois. Yes, Harriet Lois, can you ask?
Teacher, I'm not seeing your screen properly.
No, the screen is clear, teacher.
Try to reconnect again. Okay. So you place the some seeds horizontally like this, okay, so that they are perpendicular, perpendicular to the ground like that. Then place another petri dish on a clinostat and make its radicals to its radicals horizontal to the ground. Now this is just to show, but what we are having is here actually. So we are going to place some horizontal like this, and then some are on a clinostat. Now this clinostat is going to be rotating. It's going to be rotating like that. Okay, but when they are facing up like that, so when it rotates, the oxygens are going to be evenly distributed throughout. But remember, these ones are horizontal. They are horizontal. Don't forget that. And then start the clinostat to rotate such that all sides of radicals receive the same gravitational pull. They're going to be when you start this clinostat, it's going to be rotating, and all these seeds are experiencing in all sides the same gravitational pull, but these ones are just like this. After some days, you find that these radicals which were horizontal like this, they are going to grow downward. So radicals grow downward, but these radicals continue to just grow like that, elongating and elongating and elongating. Those ones on the clinostat, okay? And the observation is the radicals in setup A bent downwards, and those in B continue to grow horizontally, okay? And the conclusion will be roots are positively geotropic. Roots are positively geotropic. Now I'm going to explain why these roots actually in this experiment had to grow downward. Let me first pick a few questions here. Some people had put up their hands. Okay, they have put them down. And then someone saying you're not getting anything. Okay. So Galaxy, you have a question? Galaxy J7.
I need more explanation about kilonstat.
Start. Okay. Now that is the challenge of people who come video, and I showed people how the kilonstat look. It is a motor. Okay, let me compare it to a fan. Have you ever seen those? Okay, let me draw a fan. A fan normally is like this. Okay, and normally, if you have ever seen a fan, okay, they normally have things. So if you know how a fan looks like when you switch on like this and you switch on, this thing rotates. It rotates very fast. It rotates. So a clinostat also is like a fan, but remember where you have put this thing, it's you have placed the seeds which are horizontal, so it's going to be rotating the seeds. Now these seeds, the radicals, are experiencing equal gravitational pull as it is rotating, just like a fan rotates to give you air. That is what this thing does. Okay, but in the roots here, what actually happens is that this is what is going to happen. I'm now magnifying this root. I'm assuming this is the, okay. Hope you can hear me well now. It's happening. Here you're going to having oxygens being pulled down due to gravity. You can see the oxygens are being pulled down. Now, when the oxygens are pulled down in the roots, this one you must understand it well. For the case of roots, for the case of the roots, oxygens inhibit these cells. They reduce or minimize growth of these cells here. Okay. Now, what is going to happen is that this upper cell, so that is what is going to make this upper part to begin growing faster than this one, and so the root is going to bend down like that, because oxygens are pulled down by gravity, and then they are going to make these cells not to grow so much, but the upper cells are growing more than the lower cells, but they're all in the same root. So because these upper cells are growing so much, they grow and elongate more than these lower cells, and that is what makes the root to bend downward. Okay. Someone is saying, what is the meaning of oxygen inhibiting? Okay. Okay. Inhibiting means to stop. To inhibit means to stop. Is equal to stop. That is the meaning of the word to inhibit, and that's the word which we normally use. So when oxygens call them plant hormones. Now, let me use that very example which I used last time. I gave an example of placing water in a bottle. I remember, we place water in a bottle, let's say it's half full. So the water will be there like that. That is the water. Okay. Why is it that if you have a like this and there is some water, there's some water like that, why is it that when you make this bottle to sleep like that, okay, the water becomes like that? Why? That is the question that you should ask. The water is going to sleep like that because it is responding to gravity. Okay. It doesn't, when you make the bottle to sleep, it responds to gravity by flowing down. So that is a very thing. which I can use just to make you understand that oxygens are going to be floating down. But in roots, when they're floating down due to gravity, they make these cells where they have accumulated. Now imagine this layer of the bottle and it doesn't bend, and the upper layer, because it is growing, it bends more than this lower layer, making the root to bend downward. That is how you can understand it. So oxygens inhibit, if you don't want to use the word inhibit, they stop these cells from growing, and they make these upper cells to grow very fast. Then the root bends. Okay. After the root has bent, now these oxygens are going to be now uniformly distributed. So the thing just continues growing downward because they're uniformly now distributed throughout the tip. I hope that is now making some sense. Tekino, you have a question?
Yes.
Tekino, can you ask?
Yes. Is the experiment demonstrating only bean seeds or even other seeds can be used?
Yeah, even other seeds can be used, but normally the most common ones are bean seeds, and they're even bigger. You can even see their roots, radicals when they are growing.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Then Gracie. Gracie, can you please ask?
Yes, I wanted to.
Very fast, and you ask, and then we'll go to another person.
Yes, how come gravity doesn't affect? How come gravity doesn't affect the shoot system the way it affects the root system?
Okay, thank you for that question. Now, to answer Gracie's question, gravity also affects, because when a radical comes out, also the plumule comes out. Okay, also the plumule comes out. So both, if I can call this side A and this side B, where this is the radical, where, okay, it's going to be the root, and this is going to be the shoot. It affects, but it has, the oxygens have unequal effects. In the root, they're going to inhibit. In the shoot, they're just going to promote. They are going to stimulate these cells by growing faster and faster and faster. And so the shoot is going to be moving upward, but the root will be moving downward. Okay. So in the shoot, it has a positive effect. It stimulates them to grow more faster, this lower side, making the shoot to bend upward. But in the root, it inhibits, it stops making it to grow downward. That is how God created it. For now, that's what I can say. That question, let me see some here. These people in the chat, they have no serious questions. They're just, this is what Aisha is saying, teacher, I would like to ask. Don't type, I would like to ask. Just ask your question. I will just read it. And then let me get Faith. When I ask you to unmute, you unmute faster, and then you ask, I go to another person.
Sir.
Yes, Faith, please ask.
I have not understood why the roots grow downwards, how the oxygens were distributed to grow, make the roots grow
Come again?
I have not understood why the roots grow downwards. The oxygens, how the oxygens are distributed for the roots to grow downwards.
Okay, I'm going to answer that. Yeah, I'm going to answer that. Faith is saying that he has not understood why how oxygens are distributed. But now, the thing is, I used an example of a bottle. Imagine a bottle is called akachupa. It has water nga kalimu amazzi. Then you make it sleep. Normally the water is going to be on the lower side. Amazzi gadda wansi. That's what it means. The water goes down. Now imagine that water to be the oxygen. Okay, they are always there in the place, just like you have blood, and you have, let's say, sweat glands. Don't you sweat? Yes, you do. You sweat. Where does the sweat come from? It is produced by your sweat glands. Likewise, these oxygens are produced by the tip, in the root tip, discal tip here. It has cells which produce them, just like you produce saliva in your mouth. Now, those the moment they are produced, they begin flowing down. But now, gravity has an effect of making them unequally distributed. Like if the root is slipping like this in the horizontal direction, so they're going to flow down, just like water in a bottle, making these cells to divide more often. So just was cells producing saliva. So and you know what saliva does in your mouth. So also for these oxygens, they have an effect of making these cells to grow very fast. They grow and elongate. They grow and elongate and make more. So these cells on the lower are going to elongate more than the cells on the upper side. This side down, and this side is not bending so much. Sorry, in the root, making this side not to grow. But this upper part is growing so much, and that is what makes the roots to bend downward. You can actually picture, if you want to try it, let's say place clay, if you place clay all up here like this, and you begin using your hands to push this upper side, you push it, you push it, you push it, you find that this upper side is going to kind of bend. If you are not pushing this lower side will not bend. So you push and push and push and push. So like cells are growing and growing and growing and growing and growing, but cells are not growing much. So what makes the thing to bend? Okay. Meaning of elongate. Elongate means to become tall. Elongate means to become tall. Meaning of Petri dish, perpendicular. I would like to get an explanation. Petri dish is like a small cup, or like a small plate. It's like a Petri dish is like a small plate, and perpendicular, it means that it is directly in the direction from, if it is up, the other one is just down. That is what we mean by perpendicular. And then hope you guys are, let me get to go to the next slide very fast. Joy. Yes, Joyce, you have
Yes, I have a
yes,
question.
please say your question. Yes.
Why is it in experiment B you use the setup of a clinostat and the Petri scene? Isn't there any other way you can set it up without using all that?
Yes, that was the first picture. Here in this setup, on this slide which we are seeing, this is one way. The other way, let me play back the other slide. The other way is this. What you do is you get the same Petri dish. Place the seed when one radical is horizontal like this, when the other is facing down, when the other is facing up. You see, that is some growth, like you can blaze. This is, you end up with setup B, whereby the one which was horizontal, it grows and it faces down. The one which was facing down, it just continues facing down and the one which was facing up goes and sits down also. That is an alternative way. So I've given you two in one. Maybe I had not explained it well. Have you understood now?
Yes, I have understood. So in experiment
Okay.
B, the other experiment, do you have to turn that the clinostat? Do you have to turn it yourself, or it is like a fan? You just see, you just put on a button and it turns itself.
Switch on.
Okay.
Yeah, it turns itself. Just switch on a button.
Okay, thank you, sir.
It is slow, eh? It's not very fast like a fan. So you can either explain it using this. Now, this what you are seeing here, you don't need, in this setup, you don't need a clinostat here for this picture. You don't need a clinostat. You need a clinostat for this setup, but it is all concerning the same thing. Okay, let me get like one or two. Yes, William G. William.
Yes, teacher. For me, I've understood everything, but I'm asking the whole
Please be
process,
audible.
what they call. Understood everything, but I'm asking, is the whole process what the process of the oxygen is growing down in the radical? Is it what they call geotropism?
Okay, thank you. Yes. Now, for the case of the root, that would be positively geotropic or positive geotropism. So the root show positive geotropism, but the shoot will be showing negative geotropism. But for this experiment, we have been showing only the roots. Okay, let me end with this one. Ismail Alex Kajizi at Gmail. Can you please ask? You
so
please
like
oxygens
inhibit the cells in the lower part of the root. I'm like,
yes.
Why do oxygens inhibit the cells of the lower?
Come again.
My question is, why do oxygens
inhibit
the cells in the lower part and not the upper part of the root?
And the non-part. Thank you for oxygens inhibit the cells part and not the upper part. It's because gravity pulls horizontal like this. Okay. Normally, inhibited like that. They are everywhere. They are everywhere. Now, the moment you leave the root for time like that, gravity pulls these oxygens. They float down, so they are only down and they are not up. Now, because they are only down, they're going to make these cells where, like the oxygens, the moment they are there in roots, they just inhibit. But remember, up there are no oxygens now. There are no oxygens now, so these cells continue growing normally. The cells continue growing normally, but these lower ones where oxygens are concentrated now, they are not growing, and so the upper cells grow faster, and then these cells down are not growing, so it makes the whole tip to bend downward. Have you understood?
Yeah, I'm now getting you.
Okay, thank you for that. Okay, I think let us go to the next. I hope you guys have gotten something. Let me first look at these questions here. Lawrence is saying meaning of geotropic. What's wrong now? What do you mean wrong now? Lawrence, what what is the meaning of geotropic? I don't know you guys, but now geotropism means a growth response towards something. Now, if you combine this word tropic with the geo, that is a growth response with the earth. Like if it is positive, it's going to be towards the earth is a center where we think gravity is. If it is growing away upward, then it's growing away from the earth's center. So that's geotropism, and normally that is gravity. We refer to it as gravity. I hope that is clear. Let us now go to this. Now, having looked at that, there are some experiments to show that toxins are responsible for growth. These experiments were done by Scott Darwin, who demonstrated these experiments. Okay, and this is what actually happened. They got coleopters. If you want to, coleopters, just think of seedlings. Imagine a seedling growing now in one setup here, like here. The seedling, they cut off the upper tip, and then when they cut off the upper tip, or upper part over the growth stopped, and the plant died. It was the first experiment that Darwin did. And then afterwards, they also did this experiment. They cut tip, like you can see here, of the seedling, placed this tip on an agar block. Now, agar block okay. I will place the block and jelly-like much can absorb and is absorbed. You see, it can say it's a material which can absorb chemicals. So you can see that the tip was purple. They placed it on agar block, and then the agar block absorbed the oxygens, meaning the oxygens moved from they flow into the. Now, when this agar is placed, they cut the coleoptera. You can see that it had to grow. It grew. It had been cut. Nothing happened, like here in experiment. One. This is experiment to grow. That is came from that. Okay, he further went on block this, but not entire down. They made this grow very fast, and when they made it to grow very fast, the shoot bent that. That's why it bent like that. Now here in the shoot, oxygens promote, but they stimulate, which is not in the roots. In the roots, stop growth, they reduce growth, but in the shoot, they promote. Place it on this side, it bent the other side. He again placed it on the other side, offset. This side, it bent the other side, meaning agar block very fast, and then on this side, then it bent the other. Let me see some questions I'm seeing. A teacher here.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Teacher, I have not understood this experiment you're explaining of the agar block. Yes, I have not understood it.
I'm going to do more light. Yes, there is more in muscle. Yes, Maureen, please. Maureen, not good question. More. I'm not going immediate. There is Donald.
I cannot understand you. I'm not getting you. Can you please tell me?
Yes. Properly.
May you please pardon, sir? I cannot get you.
Okay. Okay, repeat for you. Let me.
Master.
Wilson, yes, Wilson.
Sir,
yes.
I've not understood about the X additive placed on a GAR block.
Agar block.
Yes, and your network is just not clear.
Okay. Explain again. Let me. I'm going to explain again. Yes.
So, but the network is not clear. I'm not getting what you're saying.
I've got a question. Don't.
Master.
Okay, let me work on it. Let me. Let me look at some of this quotable. One ending, it is N10. I can't work. I don't know. Okay. Create Lois. So which question is? Okay. Let me first. Yes, Harriet, can you ask your question? Okay. If you have a question, yes, mute you. Gracie, ask your question.
I wanted to ask, I never
Gracie, can you ask
understood.
your question?
Yes, I never understood from the beginning, like cutting off the oxygen. From that process where you started, I didn't understand. I didn't get you well. Please, may you explain it better?
Okay. So let me repeat for this experiment. Now, what you must know, guys, I am not the one who invented this experiment. I'm not the one who started it. This experiment in 1800s. It was 1920, 1980. Yeah, 19. There was a guy, an English guy called, that was his name, Went. He wanted to explain to people that actually the chemicals that made the plants to grow were coming from the tip. Okay, coming from the tip. Now, can you explain like what makes your body, how makes your hand get, like for him, he wanted to explain to people, to the scientists, that what makes this seedling to elongate, to grow tall, is coming from the tip. And how did he do it? He first take a agar block. Agar block, you can compare it to like a material sponge. Sit on. You see that sponge, it becomes wet. Sponge over a mattress cover. If you pour water on a mattress, so he got, I can call it to a sponge. He got that book and he placed his tip first of all up, and he placed it on that agar block. You can compare it to a sponge, which can become what you are on your the tip produces oxygens, and they come and make this agar block to become, imagine it has oxygens, and that's why it is even turning purple. Now this agar block, I'm comparing it to a sponge. I'm comparing it to a sponge with wheat, and he placed it on the tip whose tip had been cut off. After some time, it grew, it elongated, like that it came from this size to this size. Okay, he didn't stop there. He got again another sponge of agar block. He placed it halfway of the tip, halfway like this, whereby oxygen could only flow in one tip here. So they fused it down, making this side to grow very side, so it bent. He went on to also do the same experiment, but he placing the agar block to the other side, left side now. He put it on the left, on the right as on the left. When he placed it, again, oxygen is diffused down the plant to grow while bending the other side. Because the side was not growing. And that is what happened. It bent there. So meaning that it is oxygens which are responsible, tips to elongate the seedlings, to elongate. What we have understood that. Okay, I think it has been somehow. Let me pick one question and then listen. Okay, yes, can you ask your question?
I didn't want to ask, I wanted to explain to those who did not understand, to help you explain that it's okay. It's okay now.